This brother
So
was Native
you had 12
American.
tribes of Israel ruling from the time of Joseph
Look at these
up until
Israelites.
Ramses I. The Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you were the one, the rulers of Egypt. You can read.
Or distinctly of slavery. Upon this point, the proofs are full and clear, and we are at liberty to speak with confidence. In respect to the monumental period, the proofs are all strong in the same direction. When the Negro races first made their appearance on the monuments of Egypt, it is in the relations of slavery. Sometimes indeed of captivity, but more commonly of established slavery. This, until we came down to our own times, was therefore the universal status. Slaves then, when Karnak and Luxor
So
were built,
the position of the Negro, it was the universal status wherever they went. Go on.
slaves. Then, when Karnak and Luxor were built, slaves in Europe,
Slaves in Europe. Go on.
Asia,
In Asia. So we're going to the different captivities documented in history. So he said slaves in Europe. That's during the Spanish Inquisition. Go on.
Asia,
In Asia, you have the Indian Ocean slave trade. Go on.
Africa,
You have slaves in Africa, the trans-Saharan slave trade. Go on.
and America.
And America, the transatlantic slave trade. So scholars see the history. When you go back in the writings of our history, everywhere we go, we always been relegated to a position of servitude or captivity, no matter where you go. And that's why he's trying to convey. If you go even all the way back 3,500 years ago, the Negro has been always relegated to the same position in ancient Egypt, and it's always been a part of their life, no matter how long or what captivity. Go on.
Slaves and thieves.
Slaves and thieves, going back to the Theban kings in Egypt. Read.
And Memphis.
And Memphis, go on.
At Babylon.
At Babylon under Nebuchadnezzar. So now we're going, now he went back. So he started during the transapparent, the transapparent to the Indian Ocean slave trade. From there, you have the European slave trade. To there, you have the transatlantic slave trade out in America. Then he said, you know what? Let me go back. Let me go back to Thebans or Memphis. Let's go back to ancient Egypt. Then after that, you have Babylon. We were slaves under Nebuchadnezzar in 606 BC. Damn. Go on.
And Nineveh.
And what?
Nineveh.
Of the Nineveh. That's who Jonah was going to. Slaves in Nineveh. Those were Israelites or Negroes, blacks and Latinos. Go on.
At Rome.
At what?
Rome.
Christ, think about it. The Jews were slaves under Rome.
Yeah.
Industry just like that.
Yo.
Wow.
Nah, the hell with that. Let me pull that up on Instagram. It got dudes in New York City in the subway and at the barbershop too. Same captivity. Even in Philly, he got that.
So if you look at it. So what are we doing? We're sitting down in the chair in the barbershop talking about.
I should take a picture of that.
Yo.
Man. That's exactly same thing, man.
Yo, you can't make this up, man.
Hey, you got the shape of
I'm about,
so
we about to set the scene real quick.
check this out.
He's probably pushing his hairline back.
Oh, here he goes.
So he's in the barbershop. Get me Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 1. Keep that on the screen real quick.
Man.
So it's the same thing we was doing back then, the same thing we doing today. You know, black people can't go without their cut or the shape of you. So, you know what I'm saying? I got to get the fresh line.
Right.
Yo, line me up.
So, you know, 'cause you got some people out there that think a barbershop just came around. Nah, we
We've been doing this.
Probably like, yo, man, we got a festivity for Raw, man. You gotta do it.
You got that?
Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 1. And thou, son of man, take thee a sharp knife, take thee a barber's razor, and cause it to pass upon thine head and upon thy beard. Then take thee balances to weigh and to divide the hair.
So this is the ancient Egyptian barbershop of Negroes getting a haircut.
look at your man's waiting, right? Look at him waiting.
Look at him waiting on the
Yeah,
chair.
you know, you always
Damn.
got the bench
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
barber
yeah,
shop.
the bench in the barbershop. Yeah.
Come on, hurry up, man. Damn,
You got
man.
people waiting like, damn.
Yeah,
Let's
like
get the
that.
next one.
All right, hey, we're gonna show you after the aftermath of the cut. Yo, bring that up. It's a link right there.
Oh, man.
See how fresh
See
it
my
came
man
out.
sitting down, he getting his cut. Watch this. Blow that up, man.
You cut the fro.
Cut the fro off, man. Check him out.
Smooth, right?
Yo, blow it up. Hey, first, let's get the top. Let's read the top. This is a figurine from Egypt of a Semitic slave.
So why the hell would they say our culture is different from the Semitic culture? When I see the
Exactly, yeah,
the
they try to throw that
contradiction in the words, they'll throw you off if you don't know the real meaning of being a Shemite.
Right.
And the only reason you know that that's an Israelite because the Egyptians are Hamite.
Right. Look at the cut, man.
Hey, zoom in a little bit. Look at the beard.
You gotta blow it up, bro.
Yo, blow it up. Look at the beard. Look at the shape up.
That's Judah, bro.
That's Judah. Man, ain't no African coming smooth like that with a cut.
Whoa, wait a minute,
That's
wait
Judah,
a
bro.
minute.
Look at that.
Hold
Look
on,
at that beard.
Hold up. See,
Yo, the head.
No, that's a Judite head. Ain't no
Hey,
Levi head.
Cap. I'm a humble servant. I ain't gonna go against that. The only thing I'm gonna say is Jez need a new barber then, if that's the case.
Shots fired.
So let's go to the next one.
Take you back
Bring
to
it up,
Egypt,
Ray.
man.
Dang.
Go to the next one.
Now let's go to now this last icon I want to show you in this book, proving that we're Israelites once again is from the tribe of Gad, North American Indian. If you look closely, they have the shield of David on. I know some of you Negroes get spooky about the shield of David, about to lose your mind. I think it's the Star of David, but it's another story. We done prove that's a lie anyway, but I don't want to get into that. Just read what's highlighted, and hopefully the camera will pick up the icon on the brother garment.
It says a romanticized version of the first meeting between the Pilgrims, Governor John Carver, and the Wampanoag chief Massasoit. The two men agreed to a peace treaty in which each promised to aid the other in the event of an attack by a third party.
Okay, so this chief had a shield of David on his garment. Let's see if the camera can pick it up. And you might can't, but right here my finger at. You see where my finger at? Let me know to remove it. You see where? Just zoom in. You might can get it, you might not, but it's obvious it's a 6-point shield. Yeah. The shield of David. So what that Gadite is doing with the shield of David? You got a good picture of it?
Oh yeah.
Beautiful, ain't it?
Hell yeah.
You know, you tell me, if he an Israelite, what the hell is he doing with the tribe, with the shield of David? With the signet of David, okay? Which is a coat of arms. And we have many coat of arms, okay? We have many symbols.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
The other section is not good yet, but there's tunnels in South America that the indigenous in that area where this guy lived that would stretch out for miles from Ecuador to Peru, hundreds of thousands of miles, and just ancient artifacts everywhere. And go ahead. So they were giving him these artifacts. Watch this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
70s, Eric von Daniken published The Gold of the Gods, in which he highlighted many of Father Crespi's artifacts. Von Daniken made the claim that the collection included metal books showing proof that a lost civilization existed in ancient times.
Stop. Look at the pyramids. Look at pyramids here. Ecuador. That's in Ecuador.
That's in Ecuador.
They have pyramids.
And the thing that I hate about this is that they put more emphasis.
Yeah. He said, I got it. I figured it out.
Just turn up the
He
USB,
said, I
Mike.
got it. I figured it out. Hey.
And what I hate about is that they put more emphasis on this guy Esau, Father Crespi, than the indigenous people that knew about these artifacts.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Well, there's a history is written by the oppressor.
Go ahead.
Extraterrestrials helped to form. Many people fed into the belief that these artifacts were either extraterrestrial or were out of place, with bizarre, unknown scripts similar to Babylonian or Sumerian writing.
Stop.
Right.
Still go back a little on that. I want that image clear. Notice that's an can you make it
Place.
clear, the image? Stop. Okay. That's fringes on the bottom of the garment.
Right.
Remember, that's an engraving, not a drawing. So you're not really going to be able, but look at the little lines that's on there. Right? That's fringes on the garment. And no, he's not naked with a loincloth.
Right.
That's probably some royal attire that they had.
Remove the disclaimer so they can see what Deacon's going over.
Right. Oh, they can't. Oh, because they're seeing the disclaimer. They can't see the bottom.
Right.
Right.
He got a chain on.
He got a
Right.
chain on, everything. The headdress. Look at the. Yep.
He looking.
Right.
So,
So you see that? See the fringes down there, right? And it's not in color, but I would imagine there's a border of blue. All right, go ahead.
Put the disclaimer back on as well. Go ahead.
With bizarre, unknown scripts similar to Babylonian or Sumerian writing.
Stop. So it said bizarre scripts similar to Babylonian and what did he say?
Sumerian.
Sumerian. Okay, go ahead.
With the Vatican's permission, Father Crespi opened a museum at the Salesian School at Cuenca. In July 1962, a fire broke out and the museum was destroyed. Father Crespi
How
was able
convenient.
to
Right.
salvage as much as possible.
So yes. So he opened up a museum with all these ancient artifacts. He had a museum, meaning thousands of artifacts. And then he was only able to save a handful or a small percent, which is still a lot what he saved. And I'm going to show you what he saved. Go ahead.
And stored them in 2 long, narrow rooms. Items from Father Crespi's collection included tablets, plates, doors, decorations, statues, pottery, jewelry, ancient weapons, and more adornments. There were even 3 gold sarcophagus-like coffins. The artifacts were made of stone, wood, ceramic, and metal. The metals were pure gold, sheet gold,
Pure gold.
silver, sheet silver,
gold.
bronze,
you see
brass,
the fringes
copper.
on that?
Stop right there. All these were pure gold. But
Hey, I don't know if you could zoom in on that a little bit. Look, his hair look wavy curly.
his nose.
He got a wide nose.
Right.
I'm just saying, there's certain characteristics. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because when you look at the Olmec heads, right, they got the wide nose too and stuff like. I'm not trying to
Right.
be insulting. It's just characteristics of
can't.
our people.
Not
you
on-
know?
not on the
No,
video.
you can't.
Yeah.
But look at that.
No,
Wow.
and so it's pure gold.
Right. See, somebody said that looks like a brother. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Come on.
Hey, pure gold that the indigenous of Ecuador had. Pure gold metal sheets.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's no coincidence though, too. Like after he got with the Vatican to get permission, that the fire caught
Later, the fire.
He's trying to save what they're trying to destroy.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Go ahead.
Zinc, tin, and sheet metal. When Father Crespi passed away in 1982, what happened next only added to the mystery. His collection was removed. Investigators later discovered it was purchased by the Central Bank of Ecuador and is currently stored in their museum vaults. However, none of the golden plates were shown to investigators, so it is assumed they are lost.
It's
Others
assumed
believe
that they're
either
lost.
the Vatican has them, the local government, or another rumor is that they were melted down and used for military funds. All that remains is the photographic evidence. Some people believe that
Stop.
the collect.
Where's that from? Where's that from?
That looks like Babylon, right?
That's from Babylon, bro.
Yeah.
Now, go to the other video because let's hear it out of his mouth. Go to the other video and then give me Ezra chapter 1
In the Bible.
in the Bible, chapter 1. And we read this last week.
Part of the message from the gods was strange symbols on it and a model of a dog carved in stone. Now this is quite remarkable because it looks...
Stop. He said this is pure gold, oro puro. Go ahead.
Hey, I want to bring a point out. Yes, he said it's pure gold. There was a comment.
Pure gold, the old mansions, pure gold. Many archaeologists who studied the Sumerian, Babylonian,
Right, stop. So what's the significance of them saying it's Babylonian?
Yes.
That means we were in a Babylonian captivity.
How did this Babylonian artifact end up in Ecuador?
Yes, right. It don't mean that Babylonians came over here.
No.
No, remember. That goes back to what we read in Atkinson's casket. Solomon and the people
Yes.
the navies that he sent over, the stuff that we had that we brought back over, right?
Yes.
Come on.
How did Babylonian artifacts end up in South America? This is an ancient Babylonian. You know that's ancient. He said this is pure gold. And why did the Vatican, somehow his museum started burning up? Because then now it's like, well, okay, who gave him the gold? Okay, the indigenous. How did they get artifacts from Babylon? Because, go ahead.
No conventional archaeologist would come to a
Stop.
backyard and say,
He's holding it in his hand. This ancient artifact. It's not fake. It's not plastic. He said it's pure gold. How did the indigenous get a hold of this from ancient Babylon. When we went back into when we got liberty from our captivity, they would always send us back with gold, with riches, with things to build upon, and a lot of things we kept, like this ancient artifact. One more.
Bound. Some of them were bound, right? Why is he coming to bind people up? Yeah. Why is he coming to bind people up if everybody go? It should have just said, and when he came unto the people, everybody was glad. Yeah. That would have been it. Everybody was glad because their Messiah that loves all of them is finally here. Yeah. Right? Why didn't say that? Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
And under some word of them that were orphans.
See that's a head chopper right there. Yeah, if he can receive that, if he can even receive that.
That's self-explanatory.
Right? If he can even receive that, because you got to understand, these Christians, they don't deal with their apocrypha or they proud or they gainsayers. Right? But like you said, that's self-explanatory. Why couldn't it just say, the brother said it the best way. Why couldn't it just say everybody was glad? Right? That's a cut right there. It should have said somewhere, it said somewhere happy. That one line right there, that's a cut. Because if only some of the people was happy to see the Messiah, that means he ain't coming for everybody. That means he don't love everybody. And then it even says some were sad. And don't give me no nonsense about those with tears of joy. Don't tell me those with tears of joy. No.
They'll say that.
Right? Because
Revelation's gonna wipe away the tears.
right, so gonna wipe away the tears. There shall be no more pain nor sorrow, for the former things are passed away. So now, why would it say that if Christ loved everybody? Right? Why did it say, think not that I'm come to send peace on earth? I came not to send a peace but a sword. A man's foe shall be of his own household. I mean, we can go on and on. Luke 19:27. Those my enemies that would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Why would it be so easy for Christ to say, I don't have nobody to kill when I come? It said in Isaiah, the slain of the Lord shall be many. I mean, it's so many, man. Now you can go on and on, and Christ came to love and heal everybody. Why did it say in Matthew 21:41, he will miserably destroy those wicked men? Right? I mean, come on, man. If you want to say that Jesus loves everybody, he came for everybody, but that's what you're going to get from, you know what? Some of them Christians, they don't even know that. They really believe that. They really, really believe that. I was talking to this Christian girl one time I knew, and she's like, oh, I can't deal with you because we unequally yoked. I was like, huh? But you're unequally yoked with the false doctrine. I could be telling you that. And I was like, look, it ain't really that serious, Pop. You know what I'm saying? But she tried to tell me she's unequally yoked with me like she got the right doctrine. No,
Okay,
I'm
what does she mean
unequally
by
yoked
that?
with you. Because you don't have the right doctrine.
Oh, so that's what she meant?
Yeah, unequally yoked. Yeah, give me 2 Corinthians 6:14. 2 Corinthians, the 6th chapter, I believe it's the 14th verse. Yeah, unequally yoked. That's why Paul used the term true yoke fellow or true yoke servant, right? Because you're like bounded. You're bounded to the Most High and servant, right? But when you're unequally yoked, meaning you're bonded together, but you don't agree, right? You're not in the same agreement with the same doctrine, right? God, brother, read that.
2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14.
Come on.
Be ye not unequally yoked.
Now, Paul said, be ye not unequally yoked. God.
Together with unbelief.
Now, Paul told us, so if anything, we're not supposed to be dealing with the Christians. How you tell me don't be unequally yoked with non-believers?
Who the hell are you?
Like the Christian doctrine is the right way. Give me a break, man. Go ahead, read. And she was quoting the scripture. Go ahead.
For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness?
Yeah, you guys believe in eating pork.
Yeah.
You believe in you believe God loves everybody. You believe the law is done away with. The Lord said, what? What fellowship?
What fellowship have righteousness?
What fellowship have righteousness? Come on.
With unrighteousness.
With unrighteousness. What fellowship do a person that's about law have to do with somebody that's not about law? It's unequally yoked with non-believers. So she's saying that to me like, oh, she's a Christian, she's in the right place.
Right.
Right, when you Christians believe the law's done away with, right? Christ died for everybody. Christ can be any color. You can marry anybody you want. Which how many of y'all heard about the couple that got kicked out the church in Mississippi because they was black and they didn't want to marry? You see that? You see that? But Jesus loves everybody. But I thought my Jesus loves everybody. I don't want to hear nothing from the Christians. I'm getting that article, I'm damn enlarging it, and I'm laminating it. As soon as the Christian come up, I don't want to hear a damn thing. I'm going to have that sign until Yahushua come back or until we stop preaching on these streets, man. I don't want to hear nothing from the Christians. I didn't even hear that. Once I get a hold of that article, Once I get a hold of that article. It was all over the news all weekend.
What?
Yeah, it was all over the news, yeah.
I'll be watching Brooklyn news.
I start seeing the story from Sunday. I start seeing the story from either Sunday or Monday. What's it, Tuesday? Yeah. Well, I know I seen it at least 3-4 times.
I see my family,
and I seen it on YouTube.
Now, see my family, they always sit down after work. My aunts go down, they go down in the kitchen, they drink their coffee, they always talk about the news. Right. I didn't see them talk about that one, and they probably know about it. They're not gonna bring it up because I'm in the house.
They ain't gonna bring it up.
We're not gonna tell Terrence. We're not gonna tell him that. Oh yeah, she forgot that one.
It was a pretty big story too. I seen it on the news at least 4 times.
Because they didn't want to get married?
I seen it on at least 4 different channels.
You said they wanted to get married, right?
It was a black couple that wanted to get married. The black woman was a member of the church.
Yeah.
But she not, and you know what it is too?
How's she doing in an all-white church?
You know what it is? You know what it is though? It was okay for the black woman to be part of the all-white church. But when she went to marry the black man, it became a problem.
But you know what's crazy?
See that?
Now, you know what's crazy? Mississippi is my grandmother's homeland.
Right.
My grandmother, I remember when I was a little boy, my grandmother was not too fond of them damn white folks, man.
Listen, Mississippi,
she did not.
A lot of black people
like
in Mississippi,
right?
A lot of black people in Mississippi, they have to end up being racist.
Yeah,
because the way them crackers treat them down there, if they was to still love Esau, there'd be a bunch of assholes. Straight up. So a lot of black people from Mississippi are racist.
Yeah.
They said we don't like them crackers either. Listen, they did an interview in the late 90s.
My grandmother don't
They did an interview in the late 90s, like 98, 99. And the crackers said, listen, around these parts, niggers stay over where it's belong, and we stay over here where we belong. Man, so I've been living here over 50 years. Wow. As long as I've been living here, it's been like that. And guess what? I wanted to stay like that. And the cracker eyes got real big. He looked at Ted Koppel and in the camera and said, I want to stay like that. Yeah, man. I said, that's my kind of devil, goddamn. My kind of devil. I said, I'm going to the kitchen to pour me some damn Manischewitz. I got to toast that cracker. That's my kind of devil right there, boy.
I just don't understand why that's how I like it.
Yeah, one of them old devils. Yeah, one of them old. The devil was like 76 years old. He was like 76 years old. Old devil, man. That devil looked like, man, he'll eat a damn piece of damn smoked pork knuckle and drop dead any minute, man. Old cracker, man. That man eyes got big too, and we wanted to stay that way. Yeah. He said, listen, there was a part of Mississippi. He said, listen, we do not go to the colored neighborhood, and they do not come over here. And he said, we live a couple of miles from each other, but we don't come to each other's town.
Right. And you know what's crazy?
And that's good rap.
One of my uncles got killed by a white man. Because I told you, my family Native American.
Right.
They're Creek Native American. And my grandmother, I think ever since then, my grandmother was not, she said, listen, because you know, what they did was, they tied my uncle up to a tree, they put the shotgun in his mouth and blew his head off. And she said, they tied him to a tree, put the shotgun in his mouth, blew his head off. And she used to say,
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'll be all right. Don't leave my car. And she said, tell her, she said, listen. Thursday or Saturday? Okay. She said, I don't see how. Okay. She said, I don't see how anybody can think that that's their friend. She said, I don't see how anybody can think that those are her friends. She said, Tim, I was a little girl when I see. She said, I seen that with my own 2 eyes. She said, at a certain time, you didn't go in the woods. She said, you got caught up in the woods. The Klansman was after your ass.
Oh, wow.
You see, they just lynched the brother in 2010. Right.
They did?
In December 2010. Down in Mississippi. Yeah.
And my grandma's still doing that? They still do that?
Those places are still racist, bro. Up there, down there. No, that was 2010. Upstate, certain parts of upstate, your ass get caught in the woods. It's a rap for that. Now check it, right? Go to Final Call website of the mosque, and you can get that issue. He's hanging on the tree on the front cover of the Final Call. Yeah, I got it. He's on the front. I still got that. He's on the front cover of the. See, I let somebody hold mine. Yeah, he's on the front cover of the Final Call on the second week of December 2010, I believe it is. Yeah, listen, they still lynching niggas, man. Don't play, man. Don't play, man. And down in Mississippi don't play no games. Right. I told brothers, man, listen, when we go down there to teach, man, you know, we got some brothers and sisters who, like, what we got next down there, we'll have the shotgun right here and the Bible right here.